social service professionals, along with further salary benchmarks and a platform for employee engagement and feedback. These are among efforts to boost Singapore's social sector for the year, announced at the National Council of Social Service event.
NCSS has seen a steady increase in the number of manpower in the sector from something like 18,000 5 years ago to 20,000 today. And we're expecting actually a growth in the next 5 years. We'll probably need another 2,000 more professionals in the sector. So we are working towards, really attracting and keeping more professionals in the sector. And we have different ways of doing that.
A new President's Award for Social Service Professionals was also introduced. This will be the sector's highest honor, meant to recognize those who have gone beyond the call of their duty, from social workers to care and corporate staff. There will also be 3 other awards, including one for team effort. Nominations will open later this year.
The award definitely is a statement by the government about the support that is being rendered for social services in Singapore, and definitely it will be a way to motivate practitioners on the field to be able to motivate them towards achieving greater outcomes and ultimately for the benefit of Singaporeans and vulnerable persons.
At the event, the Social and Family Development Ministry is calling on the sector to respond and keep up with trends that will affect the social landscape. This includes the digital age and how, for example, social media has affected how people interact with one another.
Family level, it means that individuals are spending less quality time physically present with their family, leading to actually weakening the family ties. And this can make the work of social service professionals even more challenging because they have to work with families to overcome presenting issues while navigating strained relationships and weaker familiar support.
Hiring and retaining professionals has been challenging for social service agencies, and one of them shares how it takes care of its staff amid ever-increasing community needs.
One simple encounter was all it took to start Denise Yap on a social work journey.
I was on the bus and I saw a senior crossing the street. And just in that simple moment, a thought came to my mind, which is, oh, she's so precious. She's like a precious jewel. And so there is something innate and intrinsic, a desire to love and to care for this special group of people.
A 32-year-old is currently a centre lead at New Life Community Services, heading its elderly outreach arm. She's found out that planning programs for the seniors is not as simple as transplanting initiatives from other communities.
They have different values, different cultures, different resources as well. So what that means is when I plan programs, it's not as simple as a copy and paste from center A to center B. It is taking the time to build relationship with the second center as well, understanding the needs and the desires, the interests of the seniors here.
Burnt out is an all too common issue in the social service sector. Denise says her work is not something that can be easily left at home.
And then the other part of the burnout is realizing that it's not as simple as taking a break to resolve the burnout. Work still needs to get done. So then how do I recover?
Thankfully, the centre's workplace counter has made all the difference. With around 240 staff and 2,000 volunteers, it's no small effort to make sure each staff is well supported.
In terms of growth, we adopt a 70-20-10 framework. So 70% of the growth happens on the job, 20% really around coaching. We have a one-to-one culture and where our leaders will meet with their staff every month, and we talk more than just the work. And there's also the 10% where it's really the training.
The hard work is paying off, with more than a quarter of the staff having been with the agency for over 5 years. Around 10% have even passed the decade mark, but there's still more to be done.
On one hand, the expectations are going up. So there's a push towards better governance, to be more coordinated, to be more efficient, to be more effective, how to do more with less. and that adds up stress. Yet at the same time, we want to ensure our people are taken care of. So it's really a difficult tension.
Denise hopes that you can see more collaboration across sectors, but support can be offered in areas such as digitalization.
And for more on how the sector aims to address manpower concerns, we're now joined by Anita Pham, President of the National Council of Social Service. Ms. Pham, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening to you too. So 2025 has been designated as the year of celebrating social service professionals, but beyond recognition of efforts through salary guidelines and awards, what more are professionals simply asking for?
I think one part is recognizing the different roles that they have. I think traditionally in this sector, we used to think there was just a space for social workers. But beyond that, because of all the complexities or the challenges that we have, we use the word intentionally, professionals, because it really covers a whole gamut of people whom we require for the sector. So it's not only the social workers, it's the therapists, the care staff, corporate staff, because everyone just helps to keep the cogs moving. So beyond that, I think for everyone, most of the people who come in here, they have a sense of purpose. And that really drives them. But beyond that, we need more than purpose to have people stay in the sector. Because of the complexities, I think there are many ways we have to do this. First of all, it's really changing the way we look at things. Tasks can't be done by one type of professional. We need multidisciplinary, cross-disciplinary teams that collectively work around people, service users, so that they can have a whole village of support. Having said that, we recognize that in this sector, our staff really work so hard. The hours are long, but there are other ways on which you can really help them. One part is through digitalization. Another part is just recognizing that we need to afford them some flexibility in how they can do their jobs. There also has to be an element of creativity as to how these jobs can be redesigned. And that's something we're very much open to. So one of the things that we have for the agencies in Singapore, the social service agencies, is a transformation sustainability scheme, where there's actually $100 million available for our SSAs to tap so that they can actually do innovative practices, even in the areas of HR, job design, digitalization, that will really be able to help our professionals in some of the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis.
You mentioned that the hours are long. You know, in this journey of trying to find that sense of purpose, we've just heard from the earlier story that burnout is one of the common challenges faced by social workers. Has that created challenges in trying to retain people or attract people into the sector?
There are many ways, and we have got a whole gamut of things that we're trying to do. One part, especially for the younger generation, they really want a clearer pathway of training and learning beyond what their skills are. They're always looking for something. So we're trying to equip our agencies, whether it's through our SSI, our Social Service Institute, or through the various schemes that we have in terms of HR practices that help our agencies manage these challenges in a more deliberate way. And so for the younger generation, I would say that that's what they look for, a clearer pathway of training. There is a misconceived notion that there are limited progression pathways in the sector, and that's not so. And I think going forward, that has to be demystified. That actually there are many, many opportunities for our professionals to progress in the sector. Some may go into the management track, others may really want to specialize in the areas that they are experts in, and they go deeper into that.
Earlier you were talking about some of the challenges faced by these social workers. How does sustainable growth and retention of talent help to alleviate these challenges? What would that essentially mean for the services, these workers' ability to help Singaporeans?
I think it's helpful for service users to really have consistency in the professionals who deliver the services to support them. And so I think if we can provide more retention practices, which we're doing, so there are many things. We're actually, there's a recognition that, especially if you've been in the service for quite a long time, we have sabbatical. we encourage that so that they can take a break and that burnout is alleviated a little bit. I really think that job redesign is one way of looking at this. And AI, everyone's so afraid of that word. But to me, those are the things that these are the tools that may be able to help our professionals in some way to save time for certain things, to free them up, to be able to do front-facing, service user-facing work. And I think for most people, when they are serving service users, actually that sense of mission, that sense of making a difference in that person's life is actually quite a life-giving force in itself.
I'm very sure of that. But Ms. Pham, as our population ages, I think that's one of the main concerns that Singapore is facing at this moment. Are the rates of retention keeping pace with the increase of services needed?
Actually, the retention for our sector is quite good. So it's about 9%, which is actually quite decent in a sector like ours. But we're always looking, because if you think about it, we are an aging population. There will be growing needs. So hence, that's why we're looking to, over the next 5 years, we need to bring 2,000 more professionals into this sector. And it will defeat the purpose if it's porous and everyone's leaving. So we have salary guidelines. We have a lot of ways to support our social service agencies in their HR practices, so that they themselves can have the flexibility and the creativity as to how to retain their staff. I think it's giving everyone clarity as to the mission. So wherever they're working, if they really have a clear mission that they're helping and making a difference in someone's life, I think that, as I said, is quite life-giving.
Yeah, more to come in this year of celebrating social service professionals. Ms. Pham, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us. That was Anita Pham, President of the National Council of Social Service. And so to come, a closer look at Enterprise SG.